My name is Joey McGee, and my lesson plan involved teaching vocabulary words through a read aloud and think aloud to a kindergarten class. It also incorporates a writing portion in which I would pair ELLs with an English proficient student, where they have the chance to write about what makes a good citizen and what vocabulary words showed good citizenship for George Washington. Um, I provided ELLs with vocabulary note cards, and at the end of the lesson, the groups would get to present what they wrote about. In support of my article, or I'm sorry, in support of my lesson plan from the Dual Language Learners article, employing children's home language in the curriculum, a part of those note cards uh, I would make for the students. Um, I would give the vocabulary word in English, but also keep the definition blank so they could fill that in. But on the flip side of that card, I would write the word in their native language to help them um, better understand the definition for it. Against my lesson plan, it's also from that same dual language learners article, but on page 29, involving families in supporting children's language learning. I did not add this aspect into my lesson, and unfortunately, I did not really think about it. But I could easily fix that by sending home dual language books so students can read with their parents and have a chance to learn the topic that we're going over with them. The next Claude article that supported my lesson plan would be from the English language development article on page 20. ELD instruction should incorporate reading and writing, but also should emphasize listening and speaking. I feel like my lesson plan did this. It incorporated all of these with a read aloud and a think aloud, and paired group writing, and they also get to present what they wrote about to the class towards the end. Um, One that was against my lesson plan. This is from the same English language development article, but on page 19. ELD instruction should emphasize academic language as well as conversational language. My lesson plan was mainly driven towards conversational language. I did not include academic language into the vocabulary words, but it being a lesson on George Washington, I'm fairly certain I used some academic language, just not intently. Uh, and another one for my lesson plan would be from the article Unlocking Research on English Language Learners on page 5. Generally effective practices are likely to be effective with ESLs or ELLs. I believe the goals of my lesson plan were clear, and also I believe I used appropriate language for it. Um, Another for my lesson plan would be from the article English Language Development on page 23. ELD instruction should include interactive activities among students, but they must be carefully planned out and carried out. The activities were planned out and carried out carefully, but I believe they were incorporated, even though they incorporated different activities within the lesson, and they seemed to go pretty well when I presented it. As for my presentation, it was a little interesting since I do not have a classroom. This is my second semester as an MA2 student. So it involved a couple of my wife's fellow teachers' kids after school one day, ranging from kinder to first. It went well for it being at the end of the day, and them just having to do lessons and learning all day. Um, I also did not have any ELLs, so we just kind of pretended. The kids gave really good feedback. They said they enjoyed it and they really liked the book I used. Um, I also played a video before that I forgot to add to my lesson plan. It's a spoof video of the song Apologize by One Republic. It is about in the tone, and they changed the lyrics to about the Revolutionary War, which they said that was their favorite part.